and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you are new to our channel, subscribe, drop this video a like, and get in the comments down below on all the different topics that we go over. Delighted that I'm finally joined by a team member. I felt like I was going solo. Justin, how are you?
Good evening. How are you? Glad to be back on.
Yes.
Glad there's a Villa game to talk about, to be fair.
We're just awaiting the other one that's gone rogue, that's still not appearing just yet. He's gone on holiday, he's turned into a right diva, and we can't get him on now.
Final match ban, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Otherwise, he knows we've got a ready replacement. Hannah will come on any given moment. I'm only messing around. But yeah, good Christmas. Did you get anything Villa related?
Yes, had a lovely Christmas, thanks. No, nothing Villa related. I think I've got enough now. The missus won't buy me any more Villa stuff now. That's my domain, that is.
The man that has actually got a whole collection, you don't really need much more. So Villa, we got Brentford coming up. Again, it's with all games going on, it feels like we ain't played again, does it, for ages? When we've only just come off the back of a game against Chelsea, but I think because there's been these little ones in between, we've had ours postponed. It should put us in good stead. We should be a little bit fresh for it. So, what did you make of Chelsea anyway, Justin?
Yeah, it was just disappointing, wasn't it, overall? I think first half we did okay. Then second half, once you bring £100 million strike off the bench, then that's what you pay the big bucks for, isn't it? I think that's the difference between us and the top three. I'm not going to say any more than three because I think the top three are away now. I think that they are the best three teams in the league by a mile. And then it's from fourth to probably 10th is the next group, and then 10th downwards will probably make up. Not all relegation candidates, but I think they're going to be there or thereabouts the bottom half. But yeah, the reason teams are in the top three is because they've got depth and quality. To bring a player like him off the bench, as we saw last night as well, he played again, didn't he, the full game, and he makes the difference, doesn't he, when he's on fire? That he's a beast of a player, and we just couldn't deal with him, could be on the night. But that's where we're aspiring to get to, so I'm not too down about it. I think with Gerrard's first 7 games, we looked at City, we looked at Chelsea, we looked at who else did we have? The 3? Liverpool away, and I think we probably all expected to probably lose those games deep down, but I think we've given a good account of ourselves in all 3 of them. I think the biggest miss against Chelsea was probably the manager, wasn't it, getting the COVID. I think not having him on the touchline would have maybe given us that little bit more oomph, if you like, maybe that extra 5 or 10%. We might have been able to squeak something out the second half. But we've won 4 out of all the other games, haven't we, apart from those 3. So I'm more than happy with the start and where we are. So, yeah. We'll live to fight another day against the big boys in the league, and it won't be too much longer now for hopefully we're competing toe-to-toe with them.
Yes. I mean, touching on Lukaku, apparently he's come out today and he's going on about that he's not happy at Chelsea with Tuchel changing the system, and he's proper gone in on him, saying stuff like, he'll return to Inter one day, and yeah, it's come out today. It's really bizarre, but it doesn't look like he's unhappy. But his performances the last 2 games have been decent. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, weren't it? Second half, I think we, like you say, we missed Gerrard. We missed McGinn, didn't we? Especially I thought in the second half. Yeah. First half was good, pleasing, but probably our worst half under this new sort of regime, I thought, against Chelsea. But we'll move on there to Brentford. I watched them against Man City, and I thought they were resolute. Tony's a handful, he buys those fouls at the minute, which he's really good at doing that, to be fair, winning a lot of free kicks. And their last 6 games, they've won, lost, drew, won, lost. So their form's a little bit up and down. They had a standout performance against the top team against Liverpool at 3-3. They've won their last 2 home games, but surprisingly, they've only won 3 home games all season. So for a newly promoted side, I'd have expected that to be a little bit higher. I do like Brentford, to be fair. I like their manager. I like the way he speaks, to be fair, when he comes out and he gives his assessment. I think he's really honest, and I think they're nice club, aren't they? To be fair, yeah, I quite like them. But Villa are coming to town, and I think we can get the win. I think we can go there and get the win. It's interesting to see what the lineup's going to be. We haven't really heard any rumours of COVID, but I'd expect McGinn to come straight back in. I think Sanson probably deserves to keep his place. Louise does as well. So I could probably see Ings dropping out, Watkins up top, and Ramsey in that role that he played. Who did we play at home and he did quite well in that role? Was it Brighton?
Brighton game,
I
yeah.
think one of the games Ramsey was playing like
Yeah.
left, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
that's what I'd go with. So what are your thoughts? What would you go with?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're a nice team, aren't they, Brentford? They're like a family club. They're punching above their weight. Let's be honest. They're in the Premier League, and the size of the club is not a Premier League club. But fair play to them that they've had a great run, and eventually they got promoted, and they're living the dream, aren't they? And they've got nothing to lose in any of the games. You saw that last night. They're very depleted against Man City, and they only got beat 1-0. So, it shows that they're fighting for the manager. They're all enjoying their time, and ultimately, I'm not convinced they will drop. But if they did drop, then all these players that are trying to basically show all the other clubs that they're good enough to play in division. So, looking, excuse me, looking to maybe, stay in the division if they were to drop. But they've got a lot of injuries, haven't they? Suspensions. I read something today where they're expecting a really depleted team against us. So I was just looking now, they had 9 injured against City. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. 9 injured against City. I think they only had 6 on the bench. So, they are looking very weak. We've had our problems recently with the COVID problem and injuries and stuff. But I agree with you. I think hopefully a lot of them will be back. I would definitely bring McGinn back. I think he walks back into the team. We know Gerrard loves him. What he's saying about him all the time. And I think I'm pretty much nailed on with you. I think Sanson deserves to have running the team now. He did more than enough. Excuse me. More than enough to keep his place. And I think Louise, Sanson and McGinn looks a really, really good, solid midfield three, doesn't it? At the end of the day, you can say they're only bloody Brentford. My head's gone. They could say they're only Brentford, but we still want a really solid midfield three, and that gives us a really good base to work off. And I agree with you, Ramsey's shown that he's a real threat going forward. So maybe it wouldn't hurt to chuck him. Maybe play almost 2 number 10s behind Ollie Watkins, who we know could run the channels all day long and harry the back four. So, keep Buendia in there, who looks good. He's going to have a bit more, you would think, time on the ball in this game than he did against Chelsea. So, give Buendia and Ramsey the ball and let him, even, to be fair, you could even play 4-2-3-1. So, you could sort of sit Louise with Sanson holding and then McGinn in the 10 and either side of him in a sort of a narrow 3 with Ramsey and Buendia. That doesn't give us a lot of width. I know that they're not natural wingers, they're not natural wide men, but we've seen already that Gerrard loves his fullbacks to sort of play that role. One of the most interesting things about Chelsea sitting high up on the Trinity Road like I do was the amount of times that our fullbacks were well ahead of our sort of wide midfielders. The amount of times that Ramsey picked the ball up in the left back position off the keeper and he's got Target 25 yards ahead of him like a winger, and Cash was doing the same on the other side. So I think that's a definite option with what we've got available at the moment. Obviously, Bertrand Traore had a run out, so he looks like he's not far away now. So we've got options off the bench should he want to change it and maybe give us a bit more width. But we're looking more healthy now, provided there's no more bad news on the COVID front. I'm with you. I think we're definitely looking to go to Brentford and win the game. I think that's what Gerrard will be setting up to do.
Yeah, something I'll pick up on what you said about the fullbacks. Anyone check out our not my match preview, the transfer episodes that we've done, highlighting on where I feel like we are going to strengthen, and it is definitely fullbacks areas because they are crucial to this Gerrard system. Like Justin said, I feel like we can go there, get the win. I'm looking at our next month of fixtures, and to be honest, I know I'm pretty optimistic and Justin is anyway, but I feel like we can win every single one of them. We've got Brentford, United in the Cup, United at home, Everton away. February, we've got Leeds at home, Newcastle, Watford, and Brighton. Now, I know everyone has a meltdown when they see the fixtures normally, but that's a pretty good run of 2 solid months now where they're pretty much all winnable games. So it's going to be interesting to see now if we can, once everybody's COVID's gone and whatever, and injuries. I think we've had so many injuries recently as well that it'd be nice now if everyone can stay fit. We can go on like a bit of a run now. We've, like when we're going into a game weekend where you're like, okay, everybody's fit, no one's injured. We haven't had that all season, have we? Really?
No, I agree. I've just been looking the same at the fixtures, and it's 14 games time until we play one of the top 3, which, like I say, highlighted, they are head and shoulders above everyone at the moment. So everybody else in the division, I think we're more than a match for. We're only going to get better. I do see us adding maybe 1 or 2 in January as well to make us better. Like I say, with Traore come back and hopefully, the other wing option. My head's gone today. Bailey back as well.
I'll apologise for Justin here because he's just not match fit. He's not match fit here.
Because I've been out of the squad for too long.
God knows what state Ryan's going to come back in.
He'll be talking American. Yeah, once Bailey and Traore are back, then we are a lot stronger, aren't we? And I do think he'll ship 1 or 2 out as well in the window. I'm sure we'll do a transfer window 1 at some point. But I'll just see us getting stronger, and we are more than a match for anybody in this league. All right, barring the top 3, but even those, we've shown we can give them a game. So I expect us to have, like you say, a really good return of points now in the next 5 or 6 games. Twice against Man United, which is not going to be easy, but they're no great shakes, are they? The new manager's come in and he hasn't blown everyone away like everyone expected him to. He's trying to change things around. He's got problems of his own. There's players coming and going at United.
Newcastle.
Yeah. There's a lot of disquiet there as well. So, we can definitely take advantage of that as well. If we can beat Brentford on Sunday, then it gives us a real, boost going into the Man United Cup tie. I really, really want to win that Man United Cup tie. I want to get through against them. We've been really unlucky over the last 10 years with these really dodgy 3rd round draws against decent sides. So it'd be nice to get through on one for once and then have a really good cut run, because we'd be very unlucky to draw another one of the top sides in the next round. So yeah, it'd be lovely to have a cup run and just consolidate where we are in the league. The rest of the season is about consolidation now and finishing as high as we possibly can. We all want to finish higher than we did last year. I think that's definitely on the cards. Gerrard is just a breath of fresh air. The squad obviously love working with him. He's got a few bits and bobs to do and tweaks here and there, but it's all coming together really nicely. Looking forward to Sunday, start the new year on a big high with a win, get that straight on the board, and then push on and kick on and see where the league takes us. Really, see where we go.
Top stuff. So some Villa news on a potential departure. Keenan Davis on loan to Nottingham Forest. So that's interesting. He needs a move definitely for his career.
He needs a permanent move, I think, really. But yeah. I think, like you say, get him on loan, get him some game time, showcase what he's got in the Championship. I think he'll be a half decent Championship striker, but it would leave us a little bit light up front. I do wonder what they'll do if they do let him go.
Yeah. So in the transfer one, I did yesterday. I wanted everybody's memories. So Justin, what is your memory of 2021?
Yeah, mine really was not a first team memory. It was, I tried to get tickets for the Chelsea game, which was the first game back, last game of the season. But I couldn't get them because it was just, very few tickets were available. But I managed to get tickets for the FA Youth Cup final. So it was like a dual thing, really. It was the first time I'd been to Villa Park for months after COVID. So it was just lovely parking up and walking up to the ground. It wasn't that full, so everybody was sort of very safe, felt really comfortable there. And we all sat in the whole end up, which I don't normally do because I always sit in the Trinity. But walking up those steps that day and coming out and having the whole ground in front of me I felt like a kid again. I felt like it was the first time I'd been to Villa Park because, it'd been such a tough time for everybody at the start of the year. Football had kept on, but we hadn't been able to go. And to go that night and just watch a live game of football again. They always say you don't know what you miss, until it's gone. And to not be able to go and just sit and watch a game of football was really tough for a lot of us. But to go that night and watch that absolutely amazing young team, take Liverpool to the cleaners and win the Youth Cup, which doesn't happen that often. We've had one or two in our time, but we've got a great youth setup, and it was a magical night. I loved it, to be honest. I know it's not probably a first team memory or bits and bobs. We've had multiple brilliant things happen this year, and I could have probably named 10 or 15 things that were amazing. But for me, that stood out for me. It was a great night. I really enjoyed it, and it was nice to be back inside Villa Park.
Top memory. So we'll read out Ryan's. So Ryan's favourite memory was the day Twitter imploded and we nearly bankrupted the club shop. It was the day the code Villa and all those random letters dropped. That was his favourite moment. He's saying it was the funniest on Twitter with his friends and stuff. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know, there was a dodgy code going around. And literally, you could have virtually anything for like, what was it, like 50% off?
Something stupid like that, yeah.
It was just absolutely
30 quid off anything, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that was it. So that was his favourite memory. So we'll leave this one in and we'll have our score predictions. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Villa win. I'm going to go with another Ramsey away goal, and I'm going to go with a Watkins goal. What are you going for, Justin?
I'm going to go for a Villa win. Surprise, surprise. I think Brentford will actually score because I do really like Ivan Toney. I think he's a good player. I think
he's going to bring out his celebration again, isn't he?
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for a 3-1 Villa win.
Nice. I'll start the year off well anyway for us. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video. And yeah, we'll see you after the game. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.